Hello, my name is Amber and welcome to my channel, Shine Your Light. This is going to be the intuitive energies and messages I have picked up on for May of 2023. I am outside, so you may hear some kids in the background, and Atlas is here with me too. First, I'd like to do just a real quick little recap of things that I noticed during probably the second half of April. So many repeating numbers and synchronistic numbers or angel numbers, whatever you want to call them. I've just seen so many of them lately, and I was just kind of wondering if anyone else has been seeing them. Also, pets and animals have seemed extra attentive or cuddly, sometimes needy. Don't tell him that. Also, I noticed that I was really less tolerant in April of certain judgments and judgments on others. Really unwilling to participate in conversations that kind of went that way. We are human and we all judge and we all have judgments, but when this would start up, I just would feel like this instant disengaged. Just curious if anybody else has experienced anything like that lately. How the energy feels for May. Just 1 minute. Atlas wants me to throw the stick. May has, when I was tuning in, he is so fast. As I was tuning in for May, the first half of it felt real steady, like kind of grounded, like a rock. But as the month goes on, it feels like May is going to start really speeding up towards the end of May, and it felt like it was just almost going a little too fast. And it felt like it was flipping from feeling this somewhat grounded energy to the need to ground at the end of the month. And after I had typed it out on my little notes here, I realized that maybe that's because Mercury is in retrograde until into the first half of May, and then maybe after that goes, and maybe after Mercury goes direct again, then we jump into Gemini season, which is kind of a faster, I'm a Gemini sun, so, but yeah, it just feels like it just feels like it's going to go from one extreme to the other this month, as far as the way the energy feels. The themes that came up for May were restoring balance, going with the flow, and lighten up. You have to bring it to me, baby. Atlas, bring me the stick. Restoring balance. I got the message that we have an opportunity, which kind of felt like a lesson, or a little bit more like this might be part of a lesson, but we have an opportunity to choose to come together. And the words that came through was unity is a choice. Whether this is finding like a middle ground or compromise with someone, it feels like more people, not everyone, but it feels like more people are going to be a little more open to at least listening to other opinions besides their own, which feels like we've been stuck in for quite a long time. It does feel kind of slow, like the message that kind of came through with it was lead by example. In a way, kind of, if someone sees that you are bending a little, then maybe they'll bend a little, and I guess, create that compromise. Going with the flow, when tuning in, I saw a vision of a wooden boat. It was the inside of a wooden boat, and I could see like the wooden skeleton of it, and I was sitting in it on the water, and as I looked around inside this small boat, there were no oars. And it felt like if I was to try to control the direction of the boat and try to direct it too much, that, and I saw like trying to use my hands as paddles, that it would be like going against the flow, and it would make the water, which felt like the energy could be life or situations, but it felt like it would make everything more difficult, more like the waters would be more choppy and more difficult to control. And I had the awareness of my surroundings, and when okay baby, drop it. When I decided to not try to control it and just surrender and go with the flow, I got this nice, peaceful feeling of, let's just see where it takes us. And you've heard the saying, pick your battles. It kind of felt a little bit like that. Like certain things are not going to be worth the energy to try to control coming up this month. And it might also be referring to like the second half of the month where things get busier. It feels like plans could change. Things could get frustrating, but then if you just go with the flow and are willing to work with it, I guess, and that made sense too, because Gemini is a mutable sign and they're able to do that a little bit more, but it is more difficult for some people than others to let go and go with the flow. And then the last thing that I heard with that was just go with it. The last theme was lighten up. Can you bring it here, baby? Bring it here. Good boy. Okay, drop it. Okay, baby. All right. Thanks. Right on my lap. The last theme, lighten up, was interesting. And again, right on my lap. Can you drop it? Thank you. You got to let go. All right. I saw the silhouette of a crown, and then I saw a vision of two walls in the distance with an opening in between them, and I didn't know what it was. So I had asked for clarification, and then I saw two walls with a drawbridge, and the drawbridge was up and it was coming down. And I got the feeling like this was supposed to be saying, let down your guard or let down your walls this month. And then immediately I saw the cartoon horse from the movie Tangled, and that horse was a character in that movie if you've seen it. And so I thought, okay, what is this? What does this mean? And it morphed into the horse from the Disney cartoon Sleeping Beauty that Prince Philip rode. So I'm getting this like Disney, this royalty theme. I still wasn't quite getting what the message was. And then I saw the outline. It was just like a black and white kind of outline of Disney's Peter Pan's face. And then that morphed into the real, the live Peter Pan on the movie Hook with Robin Williams. And it was kind of like instantly remembered that scene where Robin Williams, who was Peter, was learning how to use his imagination and was doing this for the first time and turning imaginary food into real food, and it erupted into this huge food fight, and it was awesome. And then I could hear the kids, the Lost Boys, chanting, "Play, Peter, play." And I got that feeling like this is what it meant by lightening up. We need to make time for play, use our imaginations, have some fun this month. And then the last thing that I saw while tuning in was a silhouette of a phoenix rising with its wings outspread. Can you bring it here? And the phoenix represents rebirth, transformation, and it felt like letting go of all the old, that we've been holding on to, starting new, and it felt very free, like free of old baggage that has been weighing us down. And it kind of reminded me, like, they say that every day is a new day, and you can start fresh and start new every day. And it felt like that's kind of the attitude we need to have in May. The last thing, when I asked what we need to know, what came through was create magic in your life, connect with your inner child, use your imagination, and then the words, "we the people." And then there was this long pause, and I heard, "unite." So, that's kind of back to that, choice. And we do have the choice to work with one another and work towards unification. With that, I wish you all the very best this month, and I thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing and liking and commenting and sharing. I so appreciate you, and I will be back soon with more messages. Take care. Bye.